You guys, I'm so mad right now. I had done a whole video, like over half an hour of video, but I had forgot that I had turned off the mic, and so none of the audio of my mouth got recorded. So it was just a little fucking face cam here of me talking and nothing coming out. So I'm pretty fucking frustrated because I talked about a lot of good shit and it's all fucking gone. And now, oh, god damn, I'm so fucking angry. I almost want to rage quit even trying to record it. But hey, that was a cute cat. You know, cats are awesome. I like having a friendship gauge with the cat. It's cool, cats. Yeah. The original recording, I talked about that. Fuck. Yeah, come here. I need something to take this out on. I'm fucking pissed. Oh no, fucking idiots up. I'm so angry right now. I'm gonna try and remember the things I had talked about and try and talk. Oh my god, asshole. And try and cover all the topics I had because I thought they were really good. But man, it just bothers me, you know, because you're not gonna have that, you know, that genuine stuff back again. And at least with like the first episode, it was just that the audio was fucked up. It wasn't that it didn't fucking exist. Because now it's all fucking gone, you know. Yeah, more. I don't mind. Let's go. Fuck you guys. I'm pissed off. Anyway, I should get, you know, around to it, I suppose. At least trying. Well, I had ended it by talking about Sakamoto Ryoma, and I'm pretty sure I brought him up here and there throughout the course of things. Oh man, actually I had talked a little bit about other stuff. Man, it was such a good session, you guys, and now it's all spoiled. I beat you guys to death with the fucking signpost. Okay, let's try and calm down here. So cats are cool. Anyway. Where is that guy? Because I remember... Oh shit. This didn't happen. Look at this cat. Oh, that's a third cat. Oh, let's give him fish. Give the cat fish. Yeah. This is new. This is genuine. Yay. Third cat. Third cat friendship gauge. Yay, he's so cute. I don't mind getting friendship gauges of cats. Cats are the greatest. Cats are so cute. I just love cats. They're so cute. Trying to find a thing. Yeah, good luck, buddy. Sorry. Cause it's relevant to something I had talked about. Here it is. Okay. Booyah, fat guy on the street. Sucks to be you, fat guy. Here's an egg, fat guy. Shove it in your fat, horrible gullet. Oh man, he's tall. He's pretty tall. That music there's like comedy, like whoop whoop wah music. It fucking reminds me of something. When I was little, I had a little VHS tape that was like a Merry Melodies kind of VHS tape. It was definitely Disney produced because I remember one of the. It had like a bunch of animated shorts on it that were like accompaniments to music, like Fantasia style. And I remember one of them was Mickey Mouse like being a composer. One of them was for like a story of like two societies of musical instruments or music notes. I think it was instruments. Like warring with each other, and like it ended Romeo and Juliet style. But the third one was Peter and the Wolf. You can probably find it on YouTube. Peter and the Wolf, cartoon, animated, music. This guy. Fuck. And it was really unique. I really liked it. I remember a lot about it as a kid, watching it. And it was really good. I liked it. It had this cool thing where all of the characters had their own, like, theme tune, but not just theme tune, like, they all had their own instrument specific to that character. Like, Peter had his own instrument. Like, the bird character had, like, a flute. The huntsman character were drums. The wolf had his own instrument. And there was one character who was like a duck. And his instrument was like the oboe, I think. And his like that music, that music reminds me of the duck's music in that cartoon. Actually, I might be thinking of the grandpa's music. Should look it up. It was a really good cartoon of my childhood. Those fucking maps are bullshit. Who drew those fucking maps? They're, like, not accurate at all. They're freaky. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I can't stand these multiple choice question sub-stories. Because I legit have no clue. Fuck you, Sega. Why don't you localize this shit? Come on. Come on. You know? It's like 4 AM, okay? It's like 5 AM now, actually. I'm getting tired. But I don't... Sega owns Atlas now. That's the thing that's bothersome to me about it. Because Sega owns fucking Atlas. They own Atlas USA. Their job is to localize things. They, like, have no other purpose in life other than localizing things and, like, public relations. That's all they do. They don't, like, actually make games. Atlas in Japan just sends them the game and tells them put it in English. So Sega could just fucking take Yakuza 5 and this, and Kenzan, and send it to Atlas USA and just say fucking translate this shit. Why not? They do it in, like, a couple months. Fuck's sake. Shooting these guys with a cannon. I mean, why wouldn't I, right? It just seems logical. I'll shoot this guy into fireworks. That's really close range, period. Oh my god. For a minute, I thought he had, like, evaporated, like, his bot. Dude, you want me to put this cannon away. You should stop stopping me from putting this cannon away. I thought his body had, like, evaporated into the ether for a minute there, because he had been blown up with fucking fireworks. It's just ridiculous that they wouldn't, you know? Like, again, why do you hate our money, Sega? Is our money not good here? But it's just dumb. Like, Atlas USA is really good at localizations. For one thing, it's usually, like, really... Well, I can't speak to accuracy, but... It's really good as far as, like, just general quality. And they can do it fast. Fuck, I remember when Persona 3 first brought over, they had infamously been able to localize it in like less than a year. It was like an insanely short amount of time. Like 100 hours worth RPG. They translated the entire thing, and it was a great translation. They could do these fucking games for nothing. Stopwatch that shit. Time them. They do it. Fuck you guys, I don't care. Just come on, Sega. And that's the thing, like, this is a game that there's just it's part of like a not really a genre, but like a category that just doesn't get a lot of attention either. It's a samurai game. How many samurai games can you think of that are out there? There's just not a lot of samurai games. And that's unfortunate, because samurais are awesome. It's one of those fucking things that has just been so ingrained into our cultural consciousness. And there's really not enough good samurai games. There's not enough samurai games, period, let alone of quality. I mean, like, off the top of my head, the Way of the Samurai games are the only ones I can think of, and they're not really comparable to the Yakuza games. Not because they're bad, they're just, like, different, you know, like, kind of got a weird quality. These guys see a fucking Shinsengumi member walking around with a fucking iconic jacket. They see a Shinsengumi member go, this guy's a good mark. Let's mug this guy. This won't end poorly at all. This guy's gonna be easy to rob. Yeah. Idiots. I don't even need my sword to beat you guys. Like, how many samurai games can you think of, honestly? Like, off the top of your head, this is a samurai game. They have two samurai games. Two samurai games. They didn't bring either of them over. Why not? And this is a samurai game that covers like, a really untouched upon era of samurai history, too. Like, it's the end of the era, really. This is the waning years of the samurai. Like, they really did kind of fucking vanish out, like, literally, the Meiji Restoration era saw an abolishment of, this guy's got a flaming sword. His sword is on fire. I'm scared. I'm going to die because of his fire sword. Not really. Let's see. But, like, even of samurai fiction, not a lot of samurai fiction covers this era of samurai history. And, like, even aside from, like, the cultural connotations aspect of it, there's just so many reasons. There needs to be more samurai games. Samurais are so awesome. And, like, it's funny because, like, I have, like, this is really just a Yakuza game, like, set in the samurai era. I can't figure out what this building is supposed to be for. It's got an item box in it. I talked to this guy. I don't know. They gave us a tutorial, but I don't know what is happening in life. Red Dead Redemption, which is that, like, Grand Theft Auto Wild Wild West game. If you can mod that into, like, a feudal Japanese setting, that would be a great samurai game. Where it's like kind of open world and you could travel across Nippon and get drunk on sake and fight Ronin bandits and get into like duels just like in Red Dead. Like if you could really you really could, if you were good at it, mod Red Dead Redemption to be a fucking samurai game. Why are these guys wearing masks? What is going on? Who are they? Man, I missed that old recording. Are they here to... Why aren't they using the dual sword style? You think they would. There was a guy in Yakuza Kenzan who wore Tengu masks, which is what they're wearing, and he was the one who taught new moves for the dual sword style, and it was weird and out of context and didn't make sense, and he was a wacky guy. So why are these guys here? What? I don't... Oh, we're Tengu masks. It's some weird kinky sex thing? I don't get it. Anyway. And it would be, like, weirdly appropriate to do that. To appropriate a cowboy Wild Wild West game to a samurai thing instead. Because, like, a lot of famous samurai movies got ripped off by famous Wild West movies. Like, A Fistful of Dollars with Clint Eastwood was almost scene for scene a fucking rip-off of Yojimbo by Akira Kurosawa and with Toshio Mifune. And The Magnificent Seven was a rip of The Seven Samurai. Like, pretty much exactly. Where The Seven Samurai was, it's one of those, like, famous classical movies, like, up alongside the likes of Citizen Kane. In terms of, like, you know, importance to the genre, to the medium. And, like, as far as the plot goes, it was pretty much a direct rip. Where, oh, who's this guy? Is this our bounty guy? No, it's Mustache Dude! Aww. Where it was, this town is getting pestered by a bunch of raiding bandits, and so they decide to hire 7 great swordsmen to come and defend their town from the bandits. And the samurai, like, figure, hey, teach a man to fish, and they figure if they train the villagers to be able to defend themselves and to fight against the bandits themselves, then they'll ultimately be more protected and more safe. And in The Magnificent Seven, it's the exact same plot, but just with, you know, great gunslingers rather than swordsmen. So it would be incredibly... Oh my god. Oh goodness. So it would be incredibly appropriate to mod Red Dead Redemption, a Western game, to a samurai, like, aesthetic. Come on, guys, just pack it in here. Kiryu has a very unique style of fighting in this game. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fight this way, the way he does with his style of unarmed combat. Even in the vanilla games, like, this is not how he fights. He kind of has a more, like, street fighting style in those. Although this could be like this could be how he fights in Yakuza 5. It could be like a direct rip, for all I know. Just kind of like weird to me, his style of unarmed fighting. Kiryu here really seems to get on with the foreigners. Like, he doesn't really seem to mind. This mustache guy who's clearly a gaijin, and that cowboy dude we learn gun training from. Like, Kiryu just doesn't really seem to give a shit. Which, interestingly enough, I have been doing research on the real-life Sakamoto Ryoma, and he was kind of an awesome dude. Like, it's weird that he hasn't been popularized in terms of pop culture as much as Saito Hajime has. Because Sakamoto Ryoma was kind of a massively important figure. I already talked about how he, like, united two rival clans who were both anti-shogunate, but were not friends with one another. But he was also kind of, like, really ahead of his time, in that he was very pro-westernization of Japan. Stop being dicks. I'm talking about important things. Stop moving, assholes. Like, one of the more famous things, or infamous, about him was he wore leather boots, along with his traditional fucking kimono. Like, leather-ass cowboy boots with his fucking kimono. Like, that is Sakamoto Ryoma in a nutshell right there. And, interestingly, when I need to stop repeating myself like that. When I was doing research on him, I found a picture of his, like, iconic kimono, and it was actually the kimono Kiryu here was wearing at the beginning of the game, back in Chapter 1. Although I don't think he was wearing the boots at the time. I'm gonna cut myself off for a minute because... shit. This is kind of a staple of a lot of Japanese stories where there's like a wandering martial artist who is carrying a sign with him that says like strongest under the heavens, the strongest martial artist under the heavens, and he just roams around and like takes challengers, anyone who wants to challenge his position as the best fighter under the heavens. And you see that in a lot of stories out of Japan, although the most relevant and recent one that I can think of was in Vagabond, which was like the manga comic story of Miyamoto Musashi, in which there was a character like this, which was relevant because, you know, Kiryu played Miyamoto Musashi in Kenzan, but I'm pretty sure this kind of character archetype was also in Rurouni Kenshin. Which is also appropriate because that anime was set in this, well, in the Meiji Restoration era, so a few years after this game is set. Anyway, it's just amusing to me how, Sakamoto came from a place, and a clan, and a people who were so anti-foreigner. Like, his homeland in Tosa, they had this party, and he was friends with people of that party, whose motto was, "Revere the Emperor, expel the foreigners." And he obviously didn't agree with that. He obviously didn't get too into that, but... And yet, I think a lot of that sentiment came from when he left Tosa, and he decided to assassinate, just cause, some, politician who was part of the Tokugawa shogunate regime. Oh, it's a poor little pup. It's a little puppy dog. It's a little puppy dog. He's just a hurt. He's just hurt. We'll give him some medicine. I'll feel better. I'll feel better. Ah. And, the guy he wanted to kill, convinced him not to kill him, and was like, yo, dude, well, what's interesting about that guy was he was pro-shogunate, he worked for the shogunate, but he was also pro-westernization, too. And he kind of took Sakamoto under his wing, so to speak. And so that's probably where he got a lot of that sentimentality from, in regards to his feelings towards westernization. And that's just, like, so fucking cool. This guy was literally ahead of his time. Where he saw the value in cultural integration and appropriation of people of different backgrounds and cultures and educations all congregating together and learning from one another and teaching one another and taking like the best of each other and trying to help each other learn about the worst about themselves. He really was a revolutionary guy in more than just the one sense, you know, where he was revolting against the ruling class at the time. And not only that, but like he also was known as the father of the modern Japanese Navy. He like worked with admirals of the Navy and pioneered a lot of new naval tactics. So he was like a diplomat and a warrior. Kind of like an ideal samurai. Which is kind of ironic, considering he, you know, was so pro-foreigner in that way. And yet he wore fucking cowboy boots with his traditional kimono. That sums him up, I guess. You know? He was a cowboy fucking samurai. Just like Kiryu here, using his gun sword like that. It makes me wonder, what might happen if the Shinsengumi discover that he's kind of living under an assumed identity here and find out that Saito Hajime is in fact Sakamoto Ryoma, and what the fallout to that discovery might be. If he would go back to his iconic garb and maybe even have the cowboy boots at the end. If the final chapter of this game has Kiryu in fucking cowboy boots, I'm gonna be pretty fucking happy about it. Ah, jeez. I took a ticket to the long way round to bar whiskey for the road, but I sure would like some sweet company when I'm leaving tomorrow. You say I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my side. You're gonna miss me everywhere. You're sure gonna miss me when I'm gone. Oh, now I'm trying to make sure I cover all of the things that I did in the first recording. Don't exactly have a reference to go off of because that audio is totally gone. But I can at least, I'm trying to remember the things I did in that video. Can't exactly read my own lips. In terms of what I talked about, at least. Piss off. Where's the place? Guess it's by the restaurant. Anyway, we had picked up a bounty for our Tengu Mask dude. No. There we go. Yeah, this guy was just standing on a table. It's like, what the fuck? Is he supposed to be doing that? Yeah. This is the guy we had a bounty for. I'm pretty sure this is, well, like, pretty much all the Yakuza games have a system like this, but this is a carryover from Yakuza Kenzan, where you took bounties from the board and tracked people down, although I don't get why they're wearing fucking Tengu masks, like they're a gang of weird fucking gimps, but whatever. Are they gonna fight with dual swords? No. That dream of samurai cowboys is one step closer. I think I'm getting a better hold of the style of understanding when it's kind of intended to be used and how it can be useful, the rhythm of it, you know? Plus I had gotten some training, some training moves in it, although I don't think I've bought them yet. They've been unlocked though, I think. Yeah, we unlocked a bunch of new stuff from beating the sword guy. Some stuff's still locked though. I believe a sentiment I had expressed was like, why isn't Ryoma remembered in terms of the popular consciousness over fucking guys like Saito Hajime in their Shinsengumi, a bunch of, you know, murderous political extremists. But on the other hand, he is getting represented in this by Kazuma Kiryu. Figures Kiryu, when he's rolling up a character to play for a tabletop game, would roll fucking Saito Hajime. Fucking Sakamoto Ryoma. Under the guise of Saito Hajime. In Kenzan, there was actually a lethal or non-lethal way to take the bounties. Where if you fought them and finished your opponent with the swords, it counted as lethal. But if you finished them with an unarmed style, where you just punched them to death, then it counted as non-lethal, and you'd get paid more for it. Apparently, they don't have that in this, because I sliced him the fuck up, and he seemed perfectly fine, and actually ran away. Kind of defeats the purpose of bounty hunting, because they got away, and you didn't, you know, clean them off the streets, but whatever. We can go back and collect our paycheck for it, at least. Gosh, so many random battles. Barely made it away from that one. Yeah, I don't mind random battles, but when I actually want to go somewhere and do something, that is kind of a hindrance. I don't think I've bought that counter move yet. That's the thing about the training in this, you do have to buy that move. Which I think is a little annoying, actually. I should probably work on upgrading the guns. I've been kind of exclusively focusing on the swords, and now the guns are kind of underpowered compared to them. I'd wonder if the fact that westernization in the form of, you know, the firearms would kind of be touched upon by the story, where the firearms kind of do symbolize that Western culture butting its head in. And if the fact that Saito Hajime Kiryu here is using gun sword style like that would, you know, be a tip-off of any sort, but I don't think so. That'd be an interesting thing for the plot to take, but I don't think it takes that into account. Anyway, I believe I have recouped a little bit from that loss of the original recording. Still, like, perfectionist that I am, I'm still never gonna feel like this was as good as that was. In terms of, like, the genuineness of the reactions and what I talked about, but I think I replicated enough of it, and we did literally everything that I did in that original video with terms of the game, including some extra stuff. So I guess I can be happy with it. So kind of annoying though, gonna have to remind myself not to be such an idiot next time, make a mistake that stupid again. Okay, finish that off. And so, I will see you guys next time.